Hi guys, welcome to another video. So today we'll talk about the Chinese New Year. So in the last video, we'll talk about the global retail sales. Almost 1/4 of it is from China. It's pretty crazy, right? So we think about when is the best time for the Chinese to buy things for the consumption. Should be the holidays. So we have to say that there are 3 golden holidays in China. The biggest one is Chinese New Year for sure. So you think that we'll miss the Chinese New Year? No, we will not. So today we'll talk about one company that is listed in US and one company is listed in Hong Kong. So we may have a chance to enhance our portfolio in the coming Chinese New Year. So first of all, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and please share this channel to your friends. If my English is okay, I will try my best to share what our findings in our research team in Hong Kong that we have been doing it anyway, right? So I thought as well, I just start a channel and share this video to you guys, right? And also you can like my Facebook page, it's the same. So you'll be sure that yourself, you'll be one of the first one to see my latest video. So today we'll talk about the Chinese New Year. We'll talk about the cash flow within China. So you know the Chinese capital and the Chinese cash flow is kind of not freely traded. So we have to look at other data, which we have this data in US, in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in Malaysia, right? But in China, specifically, we have to rely on this data more. So how should we look at that? We should look at the blue line. Whenever the blue line is higher than the orange line, that's good. But the best case is the spread between the blue line and the orange is wider and wider. So right now, you see the widest is from 2015. In 2015, it started to spread out. And we see the Chinese A-share market and Chinese properties, they were all going insanely high. That is the key because of the cash flow. So right now we see the spread is not as wide, but we can see the capital is still there. So we can see the housing market is still healthy. We see the stock market is still healthy. So it's not the best scenario, right? But we can still prepare for the theme and we can also prepare from the charting analysis. So whenever the chance comes, we have done our homework already. So we can see whenever the Chinese New Year, the sales from the retail and the restaurant sales is already 840 billion renminbi just in those days. For example, in 2017, last year, it's only from January 27th to February 2nd. Only a few days, they spent like 840 billion renminbi in few days. It's grown by 11.4%. So for this year, we expected it to grow by 10% around. So it's really a historic high again. So we forecast that in 2019, it will challenge the historic high of 1 billion renminbi in just few days. So that's another potential in Chinese consumption because in the GDP, we see that majority of the capital of the cash is through investment. But we talk about the global retail sales, almost 1/4 of it is from China, right? But if we look at the consumption to the GDP ratio, we not talk about the M society, we not talk about the poor and the rich. We talking about whatever you earn, how much of the portion, how much of the percentage you're going to consume, you're going to spend to consumption is almost the lowest in the world. So I know it's basically about the Chinese like to save, they're really hardworking, they reward themselves as much, so they save a lot, right? But not that much, right? Because the consumption is the lowest, almost the lowest in the whole wide world. So you can say that's bad, I say that's good. Because in the globalization culture, more of the Chinese will tend to enjoy now, reward themselves, and they will save less, they will invest less, right? But I know, big chunk of the portion, they go to invest, but they still need to consume, right? They still need to buy computers, they still need to drink, they still need to go travel, right? This is the biggest potential in China. Without this potential, they're spending this much already. So we'll understand the power of that is pretty crazy. With or without your agreement, my agreement is going to happen, right? So the first stock is about Alibaba because we know that in the quarter 2, the statistics shows in the Chinese whole China, in the Chinese, the e-commerce, the market share, the Tmall itself, only the Tmall under the Alibaba, is already 51.5% market share to the whole Chinese e-commerce industry. That's pretty crazy. So if you're going to buy something online, happen to 80% of that is on Alibaba, Tmall, or the Taobao websites, okay? Or the Alibaba as a whole. So that is pretty crazy. So if we understand the power of it, and the cash flow is good in China, and especially the renminbi is really strong right now. Okay, so the sales of Alibaba in the upcoming Chinese New Year will be pretty optimistic. So right now, we can still use technical analysis to be safe for our protection. So right now, I think I updated Alibaba this stock for many times. Last year summer, I started updating it. It's only in the orange channel. But still, we think that is really high, right? One problem is like that. If the stock price is high, doesn't mean the valuation is high. That is the biggest single mistake that everyone can make, including myself. So right now, because the valuation and the growth matches, right? So the stock price is historic high again. Right now, its double top is around $191.5 per share. So whenever you can, I think you can just buy it. Whenever it hits above this level, the second target will become $210 per share. So if you are going to speculate this stock, I suggest you to set a higher range to cut loss. It's $175.5 per share. If you think that I'm going to invest in it, it's $163.5 per share. So you have a wider cut loss range so that the fluctuation of the stock in the short term will not affect your strategy as much. So that is the Chinese stock. So in the companies that listed in Hong Kong, usually earning reports will be announced in March. So don't get this wrong. It is a Chinese company, but it's listed in US, so the annual report will be announced in late February. We have to understand that. So I think you can split your investment into two parts. So the first part you can buy at any time. The second part, in case the annual report or the Chinese New Year is not as good as we think, we can look for a chance for the adjustment and kick in for our second portion of the investment. So that's my suggestion again. So if the stock price goes up again in 2018, don't say that I didn't talk about Alibaba, right? So the second one is the company called TravelSky. It's listed in Hong Kong. It's a Chinese company. It's a travel system. It's the fourth biggest in the world, and it is the only travel system in China. So whenever it happens to, if you go to travel agency, if you happen to travel, if you like to travel, because statistics shows half of them will stay in China to travel, half of them will go outside to travel. Whatever and whenever and wherever you go, the single system, that the only system in China is the TravelSky system. So we will pass through this system for sure, okay? So we've talked about this 2 times in the Hong Kong channel, but this is the first time I introduced this in this channel, because one single biggest reason is because it's monopoly. So in the technical analysis, we see that the downtrend line is broken above and the triangle is broken above. So before in the Asia channel, I've talked about the target of $28.5 is the target. So as soon as it hit $28.25 and then boom, it came back down. So this is about the technical analysis. It's really sharp and accurate. So now another chance comes. Whenever it goes to $23.75 per share, you can buy it, and then you can set $22 as a cut loss. Again, you use E-Trade, Interactive Brokers, which we are going to have partnership with the Interactive Brokers for sure. It's pretty cheap, and you can invest in 20-ish countries around the world. So you can think about that. So that's my update for now. Remember to click like and share this video to your friends. If after this 10 minutes, this video help you in terms of analysis or suggestions or educational purposes, please give me a thumbs up and share this video to your friends as an encouragement. If you have any things to add or any questions, please give me comments in the comment box below, and I'll try to reply you as soon as possible. Remember, investing being easy. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.